I'm Jeroen and I'm hacking the dive sites, and today I will show you how you can dive on a dive site called Sabang wreck at no cost. The top of the wreck is 17 meters, the bottom is 20 meters. It takes a bit of preparation. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm going to cycle to Sabang to be on top of the wreck before the peak of high tide. The top of high tide is the best time to dive on Sabang wreck. Most of the time there is a strong current, but at the peak of high tide you have about half an hour that the current almost stops before it starts turning. You can find the tidal forecast by googling tidal forecast Batangas. I will now bike to Sabang. Your landmark there is a bar called Big Apple. From there just swim straight out past the floating Bikini bar, if it's still there, and swim out for about 10 minutes. You need to know the fixes to find this wreck because you cannot see it from the surface. So once I'm on top, I'll show you the fixes that I use. Okay, we have arrived above Sabang wreck and I'll show you the fixes that I use. On the shore you can see the Big Apple bar, and on top of that you have the antenna with the guitar shape, and behind that there are 3 pine trees. And the guitar shaped antenna should be in front of the middle pine tree. And then on this hill here, the highest palm tree should be above the green roof. Not above the center of the green roof, not above the right side, but the middle of it. Between the center and the right side of that roof you should find a palm tree. We're lucky today, there's almost no current. Sometimes the current can be so strong that the buoy gets pulled in the water. Then I prefer to have a second buoy to stay visible for the boat traffic. And when I come up, I always come up next to the buoy just to avoid collisions. Alright, let's have a dive and see if I can find the wreck. Penetrating wrecks while freediving belongs to the domain of the brave and foolish. Now there are some things you can do to minimize the risks. First of all, swim the distance on the outside and use the amount of weights that make you neutral. Then have a look at the entrance and the exit to assure there are no obstacles. Once you enter, stay low. Try not to kick your legs to avoid scraping your feet. Instead, pull yourself through when possible. Once you exit, continue a few more meters and turn on your back to assure you're clear. On your way up, get back to the dive line to service next to the buoy away from boat traffic. See you tomorrow for the next dive site hack.